Well, hello there, it's Nooch, and we're going to dispense with the Palpatine needs a break today. Nooch is feeling a little bit under the weather, so no Palpatine. We'll bring him back next time, but kind of try a couple new things this time around. But hey, guys, it is day 243. 243 days. In layman's terms, that is 8 months. So we're 8 months in to the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren free-to-play quest. Our start date was December 22nd last year. So we're actually, let me see, 8 months. It's exactly 8 months today. We are 8 months in today. And today is the day that we get our ships and our fleets ready for the finalizer. All right, guys, so I'm going to try something a little bit different today. And we're going to take a look at each of these ships. But, you know, Nooch has been farming these ships over time. And there have been some times when I did some refreshes. Generally, Nooch did not do refreshes. You can see right now 1,800 crystals. Nooch just started to save crystals. And with this finalizer finish, with the finish of the finalizer ships to get the finalizer farm. So I'm going to finish all these ships to 7 stars today. And it is funny, they all came together at the exact same. The 3 of them came together at the exact same time to finish it off. But with that, we're gonna making a shift in how we do this quest for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So let's start off at the very beginning here. Let's start off with the Hound's Tooth. All right, had a little Houndstooth intro there. So here are our ships. You can see this. Literally, guys, farmed all of this today. These last few shards for all these. So go into the Houndstooth, and we're going to upgrade it to 7 stars. Let's take a look at the stats here. We like to do this while we're doing it, and I'm going to write it down. Nooch did not get a piece of paper out. Let's get this piece of paper out. So just to take a look, currently, let's see. So 84.8 health. And 66.7 protection. And these are the main 2 stats for the Houndstooth, right? It is the best tank overall, multi-use tank in the game. The best stats, 134 speed. And you know what? That's all I really care about. I guess we can take a look at armor too. Armor is 42.7%. So we're going to take this thing to 7 stars. And we'll review and see what our stats are afterward. This is with clearly a Gear 12 Bosk. You can see them over there, 7-star Gear 12 Bosk. And okay, so we added 5,301 power there. So 5,301. That's a lot of power to add. And here's this Gear 12 Bosk. You can see his mods are good, but not amazing, but very, very good. And if we go back to the Houndstooth and look at the stats here. We went from 84.8 health to 91. So that's about a 6,200 increase in health, and 66.7 protection to 74. It's about a like 6,400 increase in no. It's much bigger than that. 7,400, not much bigger, but bigger. 7,400. Increased our speed by 5 and increased our armor by 1.2%. So kind of typical standard increases across the board. And since we did the Houndstooth, now let's go ahead and do Kylo Ren's command shuttle. Okay, here we are with Kylo Ren's command shuttle. You can see we've got the Relic Kylo, the Relic First Order Stormtrooper, and the Gear 12 Phasma. She is almost Relic. We're getting close here. This is a little bit slower farm, so we'll talk about this a little bit in a minute with the direction we were mentioning before. So let's take a look at our stats here for Kylo Ren's command shuttle. Here we're literally looking at speed and survivability. So health, protection. I mean, kind of I guess we have this. So 88.9 health. That's more health than the Houndstooth, but the protection is not. 41k protection. That's about 20,000 less 26,000 less protection than the Houndstooth. 134 speed, and that's all I'm going to look at. Maybe the potency, tenacity, that's okay stuff, but the speed, the health, and protection are our main focus here for Kylo Ren's command shuttle. You can see we've got the reinforcement ability maxed out, which means it removes 20% turn meter from enemy ships when they're called in as reinforcements. So once Kylo Ren's command shuttle comes on the field, the other ships, as they reinforce, lose 20% turn meter immediately. And it's just awesome. And then when you get the finalizer on the field, this is activated, boom, right off the bat. So it's just everybody reinforces, period, to lose 20% turn meter. Other first, so the Kylo Ren's command shuttle gains 20% turn meter when an enemy reinforces. So that's a 40% turn meter swing, and other first order allies gain half that amount. That's a 30% swing. So there's your Kylo Ren's command shuttle. Let's go ahead and upgrade it. And it's going to be even more, yeah, 6,029, because there's 3 pilots instead of just 2, or instead of just 1. So 6,029. We took the health from 88.9k to 95.7. That's close to 7,000. And 41k protection of 4,500. I think these percentages are very similar. 134 speed to 139. It's all looking kind of similar. It's about like an 8.5% increase in health, and maybe the same, maybe like a 9. Yeah. Actually, it was more. It was like 10+% increase in protection. More for the Houndstooth than that. So that's Kylo Ren's command shuttle. Now it's 7 stars. And our final, you can see here, guys, TIE Silencer, command shuttle, Houndstooth, TIE Advanced, First Order TIE Fighter, Slave 1, and the final ship, Xanadu Blood, is our last ship we need at 7 stars to be able to participate and get the finalizer unlocked and start our path to the 5-star finalizer, which is required for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So let's look at it, the Xanadu Blood. And here's our Xanadu Blood. Got the reinforcement maxed out. Inflict breach on enemy target, which can't be evaded or resisted. Now this can be really interesting because now you've got Boba Fett, the Slave 1. Slave 1. There's been a bunch of argument in the community lately that they're changing the name. Like the encyclopedia or whatever, Star Wars encyclopedia still says Slave 1. I think that maybe there's a much ado about nothing. We'll see. There was that Lego ship, the Lego set though, that was called Boba Fett's ship, which was a little disturbing. So we'll see what happens. This should be called the Slave 1. There's slavery in the Empire, in the galaxy. We saw it in Last Jedi. You can argue about it all you want, and that was kind of a weak storyline, weak story arc, we know, but kind of the thing was there's slavery out there. We know it's out there. Inflict breach, which can't be evaded or resisted. So if you can get a couple of breaches out there, if all of your enemies have breach, then Boba Fett gets to use his seismic charge special like right away. Like it just evaporates the cooldowns. So that could be really interesting with Boba Fett if you can get enough breaches out there. Okay. Additionally, inflict defense down on all enemies for 2 turns. That's fine. Grant all scoundrel allies retribution. That's also fine. Let's go ahead and take a look at our stats. We've got, and again, we're going to look at the health and protection, but we're also going to look at the defense. 57.1, 27.7, 153 speed. That's significantly more speed than the other 2 ships. His damage, 7,005, and his special damage is 2,085. All right. We'll see. Now, this is a Gear 8, I believe. Gear 9, Cad Bane. And we're not going to Gear 10 because it requires lots of stuff that we... Does it? Does it require stuff we need? Wait a minute. Hold on a gall darn sec. Guys, why am I not taking Cad Bane to Gear 10? That's going to happen. So as soon as NOOCH can finish... here he is, Veteran Smuggler Han Solo, getting him geared up. Cad Bane's going to be a really easy gear up, and we'll do him next. All right, so we got the numbers there. Let's go ahead and do the upgrade. What's our power? 3,038, so less power because he's Cad Bane's a lower gear level, and I don't think it's not as powerful a ship as Houndstooth in general. So 57.1 to 61, that's again like an 8 to 9% increase in health. 27k protection at 30k, it's like a 10 to 11% increase in protection. 150, we're increasing the speed like 4 or 5 each time. That's been consistent. Damage, we added 540 damage to this bad boy. That's like an 8% increase in damage, and special damage was not impacted at all. So there you go, guys. We looked at the stats, we saw the upgrades. NOOCH's team is now ready for when the finalizer event comes out. We're going to unlock that bad boy. We're going to get to work on taking it to 5 stars so that we can unlock Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Now let's talk about how this impacts. NOOCH is always recording these at his refresh time. how does this impact? How does getting these ships ready for Finalizer impact NOOCH's farm? Well, a couple things are happening. One, you can see I'm already at 1,800 crystals. NOOCH is going to start hoarding crystals. So every day, I've been spending the normal gold energy on Jango Fett, these 3 nodes right here, because this is where those ships are. Now I'm not going to have to... No, I'm not going to buy the hyperdrive bundle. This is free to play. I'm not going to have to spend this anymore. That was 100 every day. I think that this was 100 every day. Yeah, 100 every day. And whatever 16 times 5 is for this. No, that was 100 every day too. So that was 300 energy every day, sometimes 400 or 500 if I did a refresh. I will tell you guys, if you're looking at your timelines, you know, right here at 8 months to the day, we've unlocked all these ships on the 8-month mark. I've done some refreshes on those nodes, but not consistently and not all the way through. I don't have a number. Somewhere between 5 to 10 on each one. I've refreshed them at different times. It's not that expensive to do the refreshes. So I have done some refreshes, but not religiously and not consistently. So you can have these things unlocked in 8 months. I'm hoping that by the 10-month mark, I can have Finalizer there at 5 stars, and we are on our way. So what's going to happen is, I got this gear piece left for Phasma to relic her. I need, what, 28 more of these, 44 more. That's a bunch. But I'm going to try as much as possible not to refresh the ship energy and not to refresh the regular energy as much as NOOCH possibly can. Let me go ahead and upgrade this. Do we need this for Phasma? Whoa, just clicking on... NOOCH is just clicking on random stuff. Okay, I don't think that's needed for Phasma, right? All right, let's go ahead and... I try to equip these as I get them, and the reason being, then NOOCH knows what's left out there to get. So we got different pieces for TIE Fighter Pilot, and that's going to be... Okay, that won't be that difficult. This will take a little bit of work. This will take, well, not that much work. We're in pretty good shape here. We're in pretty good shape for these 2 relics. I'm going to try as much as possible not to refresh ship or regular energy wherever NOOCH can at this point. And the reason being, I'm going to start hoarding crystals. These crystals are going to be of supreme value and importance from this point until we get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren unlocked and geared up. Because it costs 999 crystals to refresh the Finalizer mission or event. And let's say we get to the 2-month period and I'm able to afford it's going to take 7 times through. So if we do this month, so if we talk about that, 2, and then if I can get to 3,000 crystals hoarded, which I should have in a few days, it's not going to be that difficult, then NOOCH should be able to refresh that thing 3 times, and I should be able to unlock it in a couple of months. And if I can unlock Finalizer in a couple of months, that should be enough time to get all these guys geared up to relic levels. Now, what may need to be done at that point is I might have to start spending some refreshes of Cantina energy to buy these, because I did the math and I've got like a 3.5 to 4 month farm left to farm all these, I believe, at current farming speed, because there's just a truckload of these, and these come fast, these come slower, these come slowest. So I'm thinking I'm going to need to spend some Cantina refreshes along the way too. So these crystals, and those cost 100 every time, so they're more expensive. 100 every time for Cantina refreshes. We will see. We're going to see. Well, let's talk about that. 100 every time for Cantina refreshes. But to refresh the regular energy, it's 25 for the node and 50 for the energy. So it's only 25 more than a regular refresh. So I'm gonna save up crystals for the Finalizer event to run it multiple times and get that thing unlocked. And NOOCH is going to save up crystals to get these, I can't remember what they're called, these signal datas unlocked. Because I'm going to need to do some Cantina node refreshing to be able to unlock these signal nodes. I don't want to spend this. If we talk about this, if I refresh this 15 times, I'm likely to hit like, well, 3 or 4 every time. That's probably a pretty good number. So that may even be worth it just to do that if I have to at some point. So we're gonna have to refresh those nodes. Let's look at the other ones. Is it 50 for 15? Now, this is half price, right? So 750 for 50, which again is probably pretty accurate. This is probably 1,000, right? Yeah, 1,000 for 50. So that's assuming at 1,010, that's like 5 per refresh. This might be a little better deal than those actual refreshes now that I'm looking at it. So I might want to be doing this. I don't know. We'll see as we go. I'm going to be saving crystals to give myself the best shot to get this, to get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I'm thinking 2 months. I'm shooting for October at this point. That's the goal. If we can get them unlocked in October, get them relicked up and geared up by November, boy, wouldn't that be a nice little Thanksgiving Day treat for everybody? So that's where we are, guys, and that's kind of how we're going to shift the account now. Now that we've got everything is 7 stars. We've got everything at 7 stars now. We've had the characters for a while. Now we have all the ships at 7 stars. So we're going to shift the farming to less gear farming with regular and ship energy, and hoarding crystals for cantina refreshes or buying those signal datas and or finalizer refreshes along the way. We'll see how many crystals NOOCH can hoard and how quickly we get this done. So guys, that's what we got going on. That's where we are today. It's time to get the finalizer when the finalizer event comes around again, and it's time for NOOCH to be too good.